Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. What does Boss Mustapha know? The secretary told the government of the Federation Boss Mustapha's confession about being unaware of the decades in Nigeria's health infrastructure is uncomplimentary of his otherwise stolen image. But there is something that does more damage. What is worse than the authenticity to say that to Nigeria? True, the confession may be present as a standard of the sort of candor that Nigerians deserve of people in government, but that it is a confession we should avoid. There is candidness born out of accountability, one which states the situation with effect that government has already put into making them better. What Mustapha gave at the House of Representatives sitting last week was nothing like that. On the contrary, it speaks of a measure of negligence, if not irresponsibility on the part of a man who is expected to be the engine room of the government. Although the office of the Chief of Staff seems to have received some elevation that may be molded up the definition of who does what at the presidency currently. The SGF traditionally functions as the coordinating point for all federal ministries. It is simply a huge place. In addition, saying this to the hearing of Nigerians also suggests a disregarding for the feeling of the people. This may not have been the conscious intention of the amiable SGF, but public officers bear the responsibility of handling a very deeply about their every utterance in reverence to the sensibility of the people that they serve. But the question how many public officers in Nigeria truly see themselves as servants to the people? It is not a question so difficult to answer when you consider some spectacles that took place at the same event and venue where Mustapha committed the facts under discussion. When the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbamila, asked the Health Minister, Dr. Osage, whether health workers engaged in the fight against coronavirus situation had the benefit of some hazard allowance, he said he has no idea. Now, having no idea, how can you describe the aim force in this very war? Get society allowance is one thing. Suggesting that they do not deserve it, the minister did totally different ball game together. How is it that medical doctors of about 50 years standing, one should have been working with some of the best conditions of service possible in the world, would so minimize the contribution of his professional colleagues to the screening of temperature? This is sad. And here he refers to the management of COVID-19, which has led to the death of more than 150 workers. In fact, more caring society like Italy, Spain, and United Kingdom, and the United States of America, a disease from which the US, with over 500,000 practitioner doctors as at the end of 2019, throw open check for immigration opportunity to medical personnel across the world last month. The only explanation for the objectable position is that rather than see himself as a servant of Nigerians, the medical professionals in particular, he imagined himself as the lord of the measure, appointing all over the medicals. What's more, a colleague of medicine, a national cabinet says is berating to another doctor, saying he's not even aware of their necessity and their necessary PPI. See, when you have men like Sage of this word cancelling, government in bounds to the banner and the legacy they leave behind. Box asked the extra question, what the health minister sector and the general conditions of Nigeria, why infrastructure is a major challenge of Nigeria's health sector. For instance, does the SGF know that it is not only the only way? Does he even understand what is going on in Nigeria? Does he understand that most doctors are waiting for the next opportunity to immigrate with their family? A report by African Check, a fact check website, indicated that last year that the United Kingdom admitted 1,200 Nigerians who have attended primary medical qualification every week in 2018. As of April 25, 2018, 5,250 Nigerian doctors were practicing in this country, but today that number has reduced drastically. Further to the testimony of the immediate past health minister, Professor Isaac, under whom Osage was the state minister, obtained data from the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria revealed that 88,692 doctors were registered in May 2018. Of these doctors, only 45,000 were practicing in Nigeria. That gave a rate of 1 doctor to 488 as against the WHO recommendation of 1,600. You can only imagine how bad things are and have become in the health sector. Does Boss Mustapha also understand the true state of things in the educational sector? Does he know that at least 13,000 million children of primary age are not in school? Does he realize that no fewer than 1 million teenagers fail to get a higher institution placement yearly because of the country does not have enough space for them, and their parents have not accumulated so much foreign currency to send them to chosen schools abroad? Does he know that the country does not provide any alternative for those hundreds of thousands of young people, leavers who roam the streets, that there is no standard vocation training for those who are fair? Is the FGF privy to the fact that Nigerians does not have an overhauling educational structure dealing its immediate and future goals? Does he realize that hundreds of thousands of youths, mostly graduates, join the unemployed markets yearly and live within the temptation of crime, abuse of substance, and the prevalence of small arms and light weapons with which they terrorize innocent Nigeria? Does he see a relationship between his development and the 1 million boys and other gangs of hoodlums frequently terrorizing Lagos and Ogun State and kidnapping bandits in other parts of the country? Is the FGF aware of the grinding poverty that is the majority of Nigerians now wear like clothes? Last year, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia, indicated that 90 million Nigerians were living in extreme poverty in October 2019. It's not enough to identify, but to do something about it. Can the Nigerian government tell how many of these people fall within the 3.6 million households slated to benefit from the government palliative measures for COVID-19 lockdown? What exactly is the definition of a household in the contemporary of government? Would he allow a woman offer to sleep with a man for just 500 naira to feed her 3 children? Would families that sleep and wake up under the bridge in Lagos and Ogun State benefit from this federal government outreach of palliative measures of 100 naira that the minister is giving out as we hear today? As strategic to the evidence of coronavirus is affecting that brought leaders to the world, a ransom and awareness of poverty line. Is the government doing anything about this? That the FGS claimed that he realizes the extent of deliberation of the health sector. Can you imagine what is going on? That the health minister have no clue what is going on with his colleagues. He doesn't have a clue what is going on at all. He has no clue. It's very sad that the government does not even know what is going on with the educational or health sector. Even in the case of coronavirus, the health minister does not even know whether the doctors have the necessary PPE all the personal protective equipment. He doesn't even have a clue when he was being asked. Nigerians, we need to wake up and we need to call these people to justice, because our life, we have to hold our life in our hand. Please look after your neighbor. If you cook, give person food, because people they hungry. Now the truth I they tell you. God bless you. Don't forget to like and share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God